What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hardworking Happy Hour. I'm Sean.
And I'm Catherine, and as always, we'll be breaking down all things trades, entrepreneurship, and turning your creativity into a passion career.
Catherine.
Sean.
How are you?
Welcome back to the Hardworking Happy Hour.
My God, it feels so good to be back.
Right?
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
We missed last week, but that's okay. You know, let's not even dwell on it. Let's move past that. We've been so busy.
Is it okay?
I think so. I think it's all right. I think everybody is probably okay with it. Don't worry, we're not going anywhere. We're back. We're back like we never left. We'll always come back. It's like Shadow at the end of Homeward Bound.
Oh, God.
He was too old. It was too far.
I swear, the internet knows that clip makes me cry because that comes on my feed like once a day. Like someone either reacting to it or like just that thing every time.
Seeing him limp over the top of that hill. God, great cinema.
Ugh.
You know what I just realized?
A masterpiece. What?
In like the late 90s, early 2000s, like every movie starred an animal. Like they don't do that anymore.
No, that was...
What's up with that?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what that means? There's a void in the marketplace.
I wonder if it's just too hard to like train them and like.
Oh, it's got to be so hard.
They trained that dog to do basketball tricks. Like, how'd they do that?
It's not called basketball tricks. It's called play basketball. He wasn't doing tricks. He was playing basketball and at a really high level. So it's my favorite movie. They've also got the whole franchise. They've got Air Bud Golden Receiver, where he plays football. They've got Air Bud.
That is your fantasy football name?
It is, yes. I thought you were just going to stop at fantasy, and that is your fantasy. No, that is always my fantasy football team name.
Yeah.
They've also got Air Bud World Pup soccer. So it's a group of puppies that play soccer. Then we've also got Air Bud Seventh Inning Fetch, where he plays baseball.
I can't believe I didn't know about all these other movies.
Oh, they're each one's better than the last. And then they transitioned into the primate. I think Air Bud might have, I think he might have jumped right on over Rainbow Bridge.
Oh, you think those are all the same
Air Buds? I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Air Bud actors.
I mean, I've never seen another golden retriever that good at sports, so it only makes sense.
Yeah,
then they went to the monkey, most valuable primate, where the monkey played baseball, and then most vertical primate, where the monkey skateboarded. Unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable.
I cannot believe you know so much about this movie franchise.
I do, and you know what's really funny? I don't know anything about any other movie franchise. You can name like any other like movie that people have actually seen, and I've never seen it. So,
that's 3 Star Wars movies.
The one with stars in it and wars, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker. I don't know any of those. I've never seen any. I've never seen any of those. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked.
Immediately, right off the rip.
Oh my God. I told you it's like riding a bike. We missed a week, but we'd get right back to our squirrely ways, and here we are.
Here we are. Amazing.
This week
amazing.
Is going to be good. This is going to be a good episode. We've got a lot of things that we're going to talk about. Spring has sprung.
Spring has sprung.
Or is it sprunging right now?
It is in the process technically of sprunging. It sprung for a day or two and was so nice.
Yes.
Then
and it is technically spring right now. So it has sprung. Technically. So we're going to talk about that. I mean, it's just such an exciting time of rebirth. The earth is coming back to life, and it's so exciting, especially when you're in the trades, and especially when you're in the trades and you work outside. But I think just all around, everyone just has this, this zest to get outside and to do stuff. And, there's just a buzz in the air, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Because bees.
Among other bugs.
Among other bugs that buzz. That's true. Wow, that's profound.
True.
We're also gonna just kind of riff on some other stuff. There's some thoughts that I had over the last couple of weeks, because we've been to so many trade shows. This is like trade show season. The winter is when the trades are, kind of slow typically. So that's they just schedule all these trade shows for over the winter. So we're kind of at the end of that, but we'll talk about some of that and some other stuff. So first things first that I want to get out of the way.
Yeah.
I want to apologize to everyone when we're really touting like this whole 5 a.m. thing. Like you got to get up at 5 a.m. to be successful. There's some secret power in 5 a.m. And I can't believe
Are we
how
doing
much.
that?
What?
We really doubt that?
I mean, we did, remember? For like a year, like the whole
some...
first year of the podcast, we talked about that.
Well, yeah.
And we really missed the mark because it's actually 4:30. 4:30 is when you have to get up.
Right. Right.
So, Catherine.
Yes.
You just started a new, I don't even know what to call it, a journey, a lifestyle,
oh, definitely. It's a
lifetime.
It's a lifetime of lessons.
And fitness.
Yeah, I joined a fancy gym. I'm so excited about it. And it's called Lifetime. And it's expensive, but it's got so many amenities. God, the amenities makes it so worth it. But now I have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning to go to do my workout classes.
Yeah.
But I was in a funk. I was at a rough couple of months where it was funky and I was just rotting away. And every once in a while I'd go for a run or something, but for the most part I'd pretty much fallen completely off the wagon just because of life. And then I was like, you know what? I gotta do something. And that something is waking up at 4:30 in the morning to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And I'm on day 2 and my life has changed.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, it is so true which I kind of hate when they're like, oh, just, eating right and working out, you're going to feel so much better. It's like, yeah, that actually is, it's hard sometimes, but it really does.
It does make you feel better. It does.
It works. It actually works. It sucks that it works, but it works.
We were really in kind of I think we were both in kind of a funk for a while. I mean, life gets so busy, and it goes through ebbs and flows. And, for the longest time, we were both doing so great, waking up at 5 a.m., working out. I was choosing to work out at home most of the time, and that worked pretty good. But then the big move, I'm in a new house. There's no gym set up here. So that's why I decided to join a gym as well. And now it's been like a little over 2 months, I think. And pretty much every day, 4:30, I'm getting to the gym by 5 for 5 a.m. class, knocking it out. And it really has gotten me back on a good path. It's so easy to fall out of a routine, at least for me. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'm weak. I don't know. Probably, but it feels so good to get back into a routine. Now it's been a little over 2 months, and it just I feel this new vigor, this new life.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Do you think that well, I guess if you've been doing it for 2 months, then you probably started in like February.
January. I started like at the end of January.
Okay. I was gonna say, I wonder if it is tied to spring. Like, like they always, things just get better when the spring comes around. I don't know if you thought it was like part of that.
Well, I think it was the knowledge that the spring is coming, and I had packed on. I'd done such a good job at packing on this hibernation weight, and I knew that you can't just wait till spring because then it's almost too late. So I knew I had to get started early, and really, if you can get up that early in the winter and get outside, go to the gym, it just makes it so much easier in the spring because it's not freezing cold every morning.
Yeah.
So it really feels a lot easier now because I'm in that routine. It's getting warmer out, so that's great. And I think the thing that's making it the most successful for me right now is it's a gym that has classes every day. So you have to what?
You haven't said yet what you're doing.
I know it's kind of the number one rule. I'm doing CrossFit. I'm doing CrossFit, everybody. All right, so strap in. You're going to be hearing about it a lot. It's the number one rule of CrossFit. I got to tell everybody.
Tell everybody.
Did you see how hard I was trying to refrain from saying it?
I didn't know if you were trying to make a point to not say it.
I was trying to just be secretive.
You say it so much it works.
Well, that's because you guys are always asking about it.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you guys are thinking about asking about it, and you guys are like, how do I bring this up to ask them about So I just bring it up because I know you guys are wondering. Anyway, uh, so you got to sign up. You got to sign up for the 5 a.m. class. Reserve a spot the night before, because if nobody signs up, then the coach or whatever doesn't show up either, because that would be pointless. So you have to sign up the night before, and then you're like committed. You're committed the night before. So then when you wake up, it's like they're expecting you there.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the consequence is, but I'm pretty sure it might be death.
Yeah.
So
for my gym, the consequence is if you miss, you can miss in a month, you can miss up to 3. And then after you miss that third, you can't reserve any classes for 7 days, which is like the most mild consequence. But that is enough for me to be like, okay, I can't miss. So it's like, it's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, you're paying to go there. It's not like, they can't be too harsh on you.
True.
But I go to CrossFit gym and it's very harsh. It's very harsh. They don't care about the money. They want dedicated people.
Right.
And they might, I don't know what'll happen, but that has helped me so much, because, it's that moment that you wake up in the morning that you're like, oh my God, you tell yourself so many things to keep yourself in bed. Like, oh, I only got like 5 hours. It's not healthy for me to get up right now. I need my sleep. I need it. It's really counterproductive to get out of bed right now.
Right.
I could catch hypothermia. All of those kind of things run through your head first thing in the morning. So when you are accountable, at least in some capacity, it really helps. Plus just the act of
Definitely.
like, doing that thing, like you reserving that class, even if there wasn't that like accountability consequence, you also like know what you're doing. So it's not like, okay, I'm waking up, all right, what workout am I going to do today? Am I going to go for a run? Am I going to do this? Like you're just going, and it's somebody else has decided what you're going to do, and you just jump into it. And for me, it's been great.
Yeah.
You as well?
Agree. For me, I mean, I'm only 2 days in, so I can't really talk too much hyped up about it. But yes, I think that the tides are changing in my favor, and I am very excited about this new gym journey I'm on.
It is very exciting. I mean, I'm a little bit jealous because it is kind of the complete opposite. It's the same price. Mine is actually $5 a month more. And my God, the amenities at yours. There's no amenities at mine. None. None. They have a garage door that opens when it gets hot. That's about it. And a couple fans. There's not even any AC.
Yeah.
So
we've got like so many different kinds of classes. There's just classes all day long, and I just really like that I can do variety. Like I have a variety of stuff to do.
You really like that you can do karate?
A variety.
Oh, a variety, not karate.
You know what?
Can you do karate?
Might not. That might be the one class I don't have. I haven't seen the karate class yet.
Wow. They must have chopped it out of the schedule.
Oh, karate chop.
Yeah, not my best work. Anyway, moving on. Anywho, yeah. So anyway, it's just all on the up and up, and it feels good. It feels good.
It sure does.
You know what? Don't be hard on yourself if you've fallen off a little bit, because you'll get back. You'll get back on that horse, and you'll ride off into the sunset, trotting like a little cowboy.
Okay.
Trying to be poetic. That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Beautiful.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, that's done. That's our journey, and let us know about your journey because we'd love to hear about it.
Yeah.
Moving on, springtime. We have so much exciting stuff going on this year. Moving into the spring, it's really when the weather breaks and you're not worried about snow. Obviously, you're not worried about it being too cold to work, or just like that like freeze that winter has on production and all that. It's just so much harder to get going when it's freezing out. So it's always so exciting when the weather breaks and it's springtime and you've got projects set up, and it really like awakens you. I feel like, do you feel the same way, that it like there's just I don't, like kind of like a seasonal depression that falls over you, where it's like, oh, going through the motions, and then the weather breaks and you're like, oh, Can't wait to get outside. It's going to be so nice today.
Yeah. There are all those memes that are like, all it took was one sunny day or one day above 60 degrees to cure my seasonal depression. And I 1,000% agree with that. It's like, oh my gosh, this is what it's like to live again. I feel like I'm
It really does
reborn.
feel like that. Yeah. Oh my God. Our little tiny human brains
I
are like
know.
so annoying. They're like,
It's so
they really
fragile.
think. They're like, it's gonna be like this forever. This is so horrible. It's never gonna be warm again. And then it is, and you're like, oh my God, it's so hot out. Why can't it be cold again? But let's talk about some of the projects that we have coming up that you're excited about. I'll talk about some of the stuff that we have coming up that I'm excited about.
Okay.
And let's wrap on that.
Okay. I'm excited about patios. I feel like we haven't done a true patio in a long time. And it's easier to do patios when it's not frozen. So
That's definitely true.
We're going to do a patio tomorrow, which is very exciting. And
Yeah.
then the next patio, you did some crazy design that I'm really excited to get going on. So
yeah, that one's going to be pretty wacky, pretty cool.
Pretty wacky. A lot of measuring and cutting and a lot of good stuff, a lot of good patio stuff. So I am really excited about just hitting some hardscape hard. Hitting the hardscape game hard.
Yes. You have been drawn to the patio side of things since you started at Premier Outdoor Living. And do you think that it's because your wonderful little hubby is named Pat? Could be. Little subconscious thing.
What?
Your husband is named Pat and you really like patios?
Oh, patios. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Could
Something to think about. Yeah, tomorrow we are it feels like it's like patio season coming up. I posted that today.
I don't know why it worked out that way. We always do patios, but the last job didn't really have any it had like a tiny little,
Yeah.
But in my brain has been telling me like this winter we haven't done any patios. So
we haven't done as much, but that works out nicely in the winter because
it worked out. But
hardscaping's so slow in the winter because you're really working around a lot of weather and you really got to time things right. So now we can just kind of run and gun, and the only thing we got to worry about a little bit is the rain. But good thing we're doing that open graded base. So once we get that installed, it doesn't slow us down. It's not mushy anymore. We can just lay pavers and run with it. What?
I was just thinking of the mushiness of this job. The dingo got stuck.
Mushy.
It was
it's very mushy, but yeah, so we've got some really cool designs coming back around. We always try to do some unique cool stuff, but I feel like the next couple jobs we're getting back to like that, that like artistic thing where it's like things are kind of like moving on the fly a little bit, and there's like some curves in it, like the circular fire pit area that we're doing on this one, and then the next one has that kind of like river inlay, and it kind of brings me back to the way that I started designing, which was like being on site, and you kind of have this like idea, but you need to like play around with the curves, and you need to really be there, and the difference between it working out really well and not working out and looking dumb is just the matter of like a few degrees or how a curve kind of transitions into another curve. And I love that. And that's what we're kind of getting into on a couple projects. So I'm super excited about that. And it'll get started tomorrow. And so many cuts.
Yeah.
I feel like we go through stages where we're like, okay, let's do the most complicated install ever and have 6 zillion cuts.
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, let's do some now where they're like square, still a cool design, but minimal cuts and everything's straight, and we barely have to use the saw. So
I love the idea of these like a lot, like when you're thinking about a design, it's like, oh, this is so intricate and exciting, and then you're halfway done and you're like, I'd rather do anything than cut a paver right now. Like
yeah, but
it'll be fun.
I think it'll definitely be fun. Okay, what is something spring related that doesn't have to do with work that you're looking forward to? How about that?
Outside of work?
Outside of work.
Oh God, getting my dang boat in the water.
Oh yeah, you love boating. My
Love
God,
boating.
you've barely talked about it this winter. My
I
God.
know. There's nothing to talk about. I wasn't
Yeah.
doing it. So
When does
I
that
need
start?
if I have a nice I need like a nice weekend where I have nothing else to do and the weather is good so I can sand and paint the bottom of my boat. But assuming that I can do that at some point, then I could put my boat in as soon as April 13th.
Hmm.
So, 2 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks.
Didn't you just paint the bottom of the boat last year?
Yes, the paint is ablative. It is made to slough off.
Why? You have to paint it every year? That seems like so much work.
Well, you don't have to. I do. There's different kinds of paints that you can use, and in the river that we're in, the water is ablative, so then stuff doesn't. If you don't use an ablative paint, then stuff really sticks to the hull of your boat, and that makes it really slow. So you want it to kind of slough off,
Mm.
so stuff doesn't stick to it.
Oh, okay. So you're recoating it just so stuff doesn't start to stick to it, basically. Oh, okay. Interesting. That's very interesting. How
Yeah.
about barbecue? How about a good old fashioned springtime cookout? What's your go-to? What are you jumping into?
Oh, cookouts, cookouts. You know what? I love a caprese salad. That is my favorite summer, springtime treat at a barbecue. But I like a good old burger. You know what I don't
Okay.
like? Grilled hot dogs.
That's
I
the
feel like
only
that.
way I like a hot
I
dog.
know. I feel like that's a hot take, but I do not like it. I don't like it.
What do you like hot dogs?
Yeah, I do.
Like on a roller?
Yeah, like when you go to like a baseball game and you get a hot dog. I like
I
that.
feel like those are usually boiled. That's like just a boiled dog.
Okay. I mean, that sounds terrible, but I think that's how I like them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, grilled is definitely the way to go, and it's got
No,
to
and
be
like
like
the
almost
skin is
burnt.
like peeling
Oh
off.
yeah, that's the best. It's got to be like almost burnt, and you kind of slice it so it's like all split open. Oh, it's the best. That's the best way to do it. That's the
You
only way I'll eat
slice
a hot
it?
dog. Yeah, you kind of like slice it a little bit down the center, so then it starts cooking and it like all opens up, and you know,
Oh, interesting.
you
Okay.
never seen that?
I guess maybe.
We'll have a premier outdoor cookout, and
Oh,
I'll
at your
cook
new
them like that.
house?
Yeah,
Okay, that'd be fun.
absolutely, absolutely. Um,
What else? What do you got?
what do I got? My favorite thing, I'm gonna go with I mean it's kind of a toss up between a cheeseburger and a hot dog. Anytime that both are there, I'm gonna have one of each. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
And I might say, you know what, while you're at it, throw some cheese on that dog.
Oh, yeah. That is a
Hot
good
diggity
add-on.
dog, throw some
Yeah.
damn cheese on that thing. Because it ain't all about the cheddar, but it is partially about the cheddar.
Yeah.
And as far as a side, caprese salad is the most stuck up answer you could possibly think of.
It's so good though.
Yeah, but like, come on, you're gonna
When
like
people
go
do
to a
them on like the little
barbecue.
skewers. Oh, it's
Oh my
perfect.
God, that's just even it's so labor intensive, and then it's
No,
you know,
it's not.
oh my God, to skewer a little grape tomato with a little one of those little balls of cheese. No, no,
Couldn't be less
I simply
lazy.
don't have time. I simply don't have the time to make them or spend so much time consuming them. You'd have to eat like 500 of them to even
And
make a
I
dent
do.
in my belly. So, my favorite side, I'm gonna go. If it's just kind of a laid back, chill barbecue, I'm just going straight up Doritos. Get
Oh.
me a nice bag of Doritos, and I'm one happy camper. But
So you
if
don't
I
do you're not a salad guy or anything? No, no.
I don't really tend to like things that are supposed to be hot and then are made cold. Pasta should not be cold ever. Pasta salad is the worst thing
Hmm.
that's ever been invented.
Yeah, it's hit or miss for me.
It's horrible. It's like, okay, let's take pasta. It's usually hot and that's pretty good. Let's make it cold. You know how it normally has like sauce on it in a variety of flavors?
Yes.
That's usually good. Let's put mayonnaise on it. And like let's just throw a bunch of other stuff in there, like olives and like it's just horrible. I don't know whose idea it was. I feel like it was started as a prank and somebody got carried away with it. And then it was like, it caught on and I don't think it's a good idea. I hate it. But
Don't stand for it.
I won't. God, I will sit right down and say no thank you.
I
But
assume you
anyway,
feel the same about a potato salad. That's also a food that's hot, that then isn't cold.
this is the funny thing. I actually like potato salad a lot.
Oh, okay.
I actually really enjoy potato salad. Um No, I'm gonna go, if it's like a prepared sides kind of cookout, I'm gonna go mac and cheese.
Oh, got to.
Yeah, got
Okay,
to. And my
yeah.
mom makes the best mac and cheese, and she's making it for Easter.
Cool.
So
Give
I'm
me some deets
excited.
on that. Does it have like a flaky crust on top? Is it
Yes, yeah, it has a
goopy?
breadcrumb crust.
Nice.
It is it's not like too goopy where it's just a mess all over the place. It has some substance where it'll kind of stick together. Oh, it's just great. It's just great. I really
Mm,
do enjoy that. So that's what I'm going to go with on my prepared side. But
okay.
is this hard hitting? This hard hitting as we promised, correct?
Oh yeah.
I would agree with
It is
that.
kind of funny to think about, like, we spend all this time building people's backyard spaces for them to do these things in, and then I'm like,
That's true.
do I like to go to barbecues? What do I do at a barbecue?
And by the end of the day, I'm like,
Fun.
get me inside. I don't like last thing I want to see right now is a deck. Yeah, right. Count me out. I'm gonna be in my basement, just in the darkness, just hibernating out here, sitting on the concrete floor. Uh, anyway, the springtime. You gotta love it. You
Yeah.
gotta love it.
What do
It
you?
just
What else?
feels
What
great.
else you got? You got springtime baseball that starts tomorrow. You into that stuff?
God no.
No baseball for you?
God no. Way too many games. Can we all just agree that there's too many games?
God, and they're so long. Even though
They're
they cut them
so
down, they're
long.
so long.
I know, and it's like, come on. What's the point? It's
Ugh.
like the games don't even matter for another like 5 months.
Yeah.
And but I will jump in if they're in the playoffs.
Oh
It
yeah.
gets a little exciting. I'll jump in and watch that. But
I am
other
the
than that,
epitome of a fair weather fan. If they're in the playoffs, I'm in. I loved that.
absolutely, absolutely. 162 games, it's just too many.
It's too way too
Who
many.
has the time?
And
My God.
here in Philadelphia, our team has gotten rid of Dollar Dog Night, which was a staple of any going to any game. That was so fun.
Yeah.
And they got rid of Bark in the Park. The two best games, or two best like things that they had at the park, gone.
Yeah, well, people were throwing hot dogs at people.
I know, and it's funny.
Of course, it's hilarious. You can't use a hot dog as a weapon, or things will get taken away from you, and that's why we can't have nice
Yeah.
things anymore. I don't know what happened with the dogs, but why is it both dog related? You got Dollar
I don't
Dog
know.
Night and the Dog Day at the park. Anyway,
Anti-dog at the Philadelphia
yeah,
Phillies
so we're gonna
Stadium.
boycott that, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think is that enough spring talk?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, because we're kind of getting off of any
I know,
any
I know,
that
I
could
know.
possibly be classified as hard hitting. God, that was the softest conversation we've ever had on here, and that's saying a lot. So
Yeah.
let's get into something else, which has just kind of been on my mind, something I've been thinking about a little bit. We've been to all these trade shows the last couple weeks.
Hmm.
A couple local ones. We had two local ones, which was pretty cool, and then we had JLC Live last week and the Northeast Hardscape Expo. So we've been out and about quite a bit and talking with people and hanging out and chopping it up, talking shop, which is always such a good time. Um, it got me. You get in these conversations with people sometimes, and
Hmm.
um, some people are really just all about the passion that they have for what they do. There's certain people that do it because of the creativity or the craft itself or like the artistry of it. And then there's other people that do it as a means to make money, first and foremost. And there's definitely no right or wrong way to do it, but it really got me thinking. You talk to some people and they're like, no, I only pick these type of jobs because they're better money makers. We're in and out. We
Hmm.
really crush it, and those are the ones that I'm trying to push. And it just got me thinking that I can't I can't imagine operating that way. And I don't know if that's, like I said, it's definitely not a bad thing if you operate that way. I think a lot of people use their business as a tool to like fund their hobby outside of work.
Yeah.
Like they look at their job as a means to a paycheck to do the things that they really want to do. And I've never looked at it that way. And I'm just curious, like, what the percentage is of people who really do it because like they can't see themselves doing anything else, and like when they're home they're thinking about, something that they're getting excited about at work, or um that's the place that I've always operated from. So it just really makes me think when I talk to people like that, like that are so driven by the finance part of it.
Mhm.
um what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that it is an interesting thing because on people's long and winding career paths, you find the things that you like and you find the things that you're good at, and then no matter what your job is, you're gonna wear a bunch of hats, but you're always gonna have like one focus. And I think that a lot of those people who are financially based, they are businessmen. Like that is they want to
Or
be,
women?
or women.
My God.
So sorry.
Yeah.
Business people, and that is
Inclusive.
where they find their joy. Like they like running the numbers. They like it. They like running the, P&L and just agonizing over every inch of that thing and really diving into the numbers because that's what they find fun. It's like a game to like see how much you can improve and where you can cut things and where you can that's where they find the mental stimulation in it. And
Mm.
they're probably in construction because that happened to be their first job and that's where they learned all their stuff, but they really wanted to be a business person. And then there's other people like what I would consider you're just much more like design focused at this point. Like you love the design of it all, the artistry of it all. You've crafted this reality of which we always talk about how you've crafted your own reality where you can work and do whatever you want,
Yeah.
which is great. But you're not a person who loves like just agonizing over the numbers and seeing where you can cut to get more profit. And so that's not like you are a businessman, but that's
No,
not like if you put them you're a business comma man.
I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. Let me handle my business. Bam.
But like
It's easy.
I think no matter what, everyone has a hierarchy of their wants and needs when it comes to their career. There's a there might be a 1 and 2 and they might be very closely related, but there's always going to be a one. And I think that's for some people it's just conducting business, and some people it's creating things, and some people it's building things. So it is
Yeah.
interesting to see how people kind of fall into their career because ultimately, we all you're working from usually at least the time you're 18 or so or whatever. Some people earlier, and you kind of just fall into these things, and it's you kind of work your way through it and figure out where you're going to go and find your path. And I find that incredibly interesting to see like where people land.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. And I think it is about like you said that like where do they get that mental stimulation from? Is it from playing the game of the numbers and trying to
Mm-hmm.
maximize that as much as possible? Because we always talk about size jobs, and anytime I'm talking to anybody else that like builds decks or anything, it's like, yeah, the cookie cutter ones are the ones that you can make more money on because they're so simple, you can get in and out. But
Mm-hmm.
we never do that. And it's kind of a weird dichotomy because the reason that the business is successful is because we don't do those projects, but those projects on a one by one basis are more profitable. So
Yeah.
it's like, I don't think in the long run that that would make our business better or make more money because we've branded it a certain way. Like by not focusing on that, direct return on investment of time on a project, we've created a bigger return in the long run by creating this brand and doing some other things. So I'm kind of, I don't know. I wonder if I always just look at it as I want to prioritize the things that I enjoy the most, which is design. And I want to, build the business so that I'm incentivized to build the coolest thing that I possibly can and design something new and exciting. So I'm wondering if we hadn't built the business to financially sustain that as well, like would I still be doing that, or would it be like, okay, forget this, like yeah, I am passionate about this, but it's time to make money? That's what really I'm like at an impasse about. Like, do I stick to this design centric stuff because that's the thing that I really love and I can't imagine not doing, or is it because we've just happened to find a way to make that part of our brand and be integral to the thing that makes us money. Did that make sense? Did that make sense how I explained that?
It did. But are you questioning the direction of this business? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just
Or you're just
questioning if like we've found a way to it's a like I said, it's a weird dichotomy. Like on a job by job basis, a simple like if we just cut away and the next job was just simple cookie cutter, it would probably be like our most profitable project that we've ever done, like on a day by day basis, I bet.
right.
But we've found a way to do the bigger projects that are kind of less profitable when you cut it down on a day by day basis. And we've built this brand around it where it kind of lifts the whole business up.
Right.
So I'm wondering if we hadn't found a way to do that through some of the content avenues that we've done through just creating a reputation and being able to raise our prices quite a bit, would I still be so steadfast in that, like, sticking to that design centric thing? Or if it wasn't working out, would I just be like, all right, yeah, I like the design stuff, but I don't like doing the design stuff when we're not making any money. So I'm going to just go to the cookie cutter stuff, more of an internal kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah. I think that ultimately people are just driven by their passions, and even people who are in careers when I was in commercial real estate, I was very good at it, but I did not like it. So I was excelling in my career, but had I really enjoyed what I was doing, I could have excelled at a much higher, like a much faster rate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's the same. Like you're always going to find the thing that you like to do, and you are carving. I was carving my own path, but I wasn't carving my company's own path. I was carving my way through the company. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
But you are carving the path. So I think ultimately, if you weren't doing the work that you liked to do, you wouldn't have any incentive to like keep growing in an exponential way. I think you probably would have plateaued and you would have gotten comfortable and you would have gotten bored and either gone back into the direction that you liked or just, I don't know, given up.
Probably. Yeah, probably that one. Yeah, I guess you're right. I think it's the people that are more driven to do the simple projects that are kind of cookie cutter and are like, yeah, because we make way more money in that. They're probably driven by the other side of it, that they're interested in, they might enjoy like the accounting of it and like running
or
the numbers.
Selling. Like if they love selling it and
they're
a company that sells 600 jobs a year, like they love the selling. They love that hustle, that like,
yeah, it's like a drug getting that next sale. Ooh, that's true. That's a really good way to put it. Because I don't know, it just got me kind of introspectively thinking about my path and how we kind of ended up where we're at, and we still continue to. Am I getting too introspective here?
It feels like you're getting a little sad, like you're like you wish you did something else or something.
No, definitely not. But I'm just like, it just got me thinking, would I still be like sticking to this design centric thing if we hadn't found a way to incorporate the content to bring in some more revenue so that can incentivize it all? Like kind of all things are incentivized by building the coolest thing possible. That's how we've built our reputation. Like, why would anyone watch our videos if we're doing just the same thing over and over again? So I think it all kind of ties in, but it just got me thinking, like, why do we do the things that we do? Why do people in business go certain directions? And yeah, that's it. Just kind of something to chew on and think about. And maybe some people that are listening need to think about, hey, why are they doing the things that they're doing? And have they really kind of thought out their path that they're carving, either with their own company or, like you said, kind of slaloming through someone else's company?
Yeah.
Carving your own path down that mountain. So
it is fun going to these shows though and hearing. I feel like I'm not motivated by other people's like direct stories, but by their passion and their thing. It could be something that I do not care about at all, but if somebody else is passionate about it, I'm like, you know what? That is motivating. So I love going to these shows and talking to people because you do hear so many stories. And like we were standing there talking to two builders also from New Jersey, and they were talking about how passionate they were about cabinet paint. And I was like, I'm never going to, I don't want to say never, but I'm probably never going to paint a cabinet. But it's so cool to hear like people like really enthusiastically talking about something like that, you know?
That is true. Yeah. It's not like that's the beauty of talking shop.
Yeah.
It's like you're just sharing in that emotion of it, you know?
Yeah.
You're sharing in sometimes talking shop is just like, "Man, this client, this and that," and you're like, "Yeah, man, I had a client like that," and that's a beauty of talking shop. And then sometimes, it's, "Oh my god, I got this new 2-part shellac or whatever paint thing that paint the cabinets and makes the paint roll hard," and then someone else is like, "Dude, that's freaking awesome," and then you're just standing there like, "I don't know what they're talking about, but this is cool," and it
Yeah.
is kind of infectious.
It is. It's an
That
attitude that's
is
infectious.
because every time we leave a trade show, I always feel so motivated and like inspired and ready to go crush it. And
Mhm.
it's not because of any specific conversation about, design or building. It's just like being around those other people, then you can feel their passion. And I think that's what really feeds it.
Yeah.
Other
Yeah, and
people's passion.
I think because we're on social media so actively and you get all these comments of people from who are tradespeople who are constantly telling you you're doing things wrong, or like it's just miserable. Like it's just miserable people just being like just wanting to be miserable. And
Yeah,
it's like a little it's I don't want to say it's disheartening because it's not sad, but when you're like constantly seeing that kind of interaction where people are just telling each other they're doing something wrong, or you're an idiot because you did it this way. But then you go to a trade show where it's like people who are they're not like the miserable people are just in construction because their dad made them get a job when they were 14 and they never left. But the people that go to trade shows are people that are like they're really passionate about what they're doing and they want to be there and they want to learn. So those are the people and conversations that you really get something out of. And you can get that on social media, but you also kind of have to weed through those people that are like,
that's true. That's true. A lot to think about there.
something to
A
think
lot to
about
think
for
about.
sure.
I feel like I was just auditorily writing in my journal or something. It's just like kind of stream of consciousness. Like
Yeah.
I don't know where that was headed, but it's interesting how we arrive at the places that we do and
You want to
the
throw everything out the
reasons,
window for a little bit and try something else? See how it
like
goes.
racquetball.
No, I meant like switching the business up, like you said, but or racquetball.
Yeah, I don't know why that was the first thing that came to mind, but
Pickleball is
no.
much more popular right now. Maybe you should try that.
Well, yeah, it's too saturated. You got to do racquetball. That'll be the next thing. But no, I don't think so. I definitely know that I wouldn't be good at a lot of other things, like scaling the business or doing a million jobs. I mean, that would be horrible
Yeah.
for me. I would be so bad at that. It would be insane. So, no, I don't want to do that, but it's something to think about.
Yeah, you really feel like you got a lot on your mind there.
I just feel I feel like evaluating things, just
Yeah.
thinking through where we're at in life and business, and that's it.
You okay, Sean?
Good. I feel better now. So
Okay.
what's up with you? What do you got going on? How are you feeling about things? Uh what do you got?
Just in general, everything?
I guess just in general, yeah. Hit me
Way
with
of the
something.
world?
Is that enough
uh
of the stream of consciousness chat about you know why people do the things that they do? Can we move on to something else? Time
yeah,
for our next segment.
sure. Um,
All right.
well, I'm not really sure what I want to say about it, but I do feel like we need to talk about this Baltimore Bridge situation.
Yeah.
It's all over the news right now. And it is really just the craziest situation and like craziest video I've ever seen. So
Yeah.
I don't want to say the craziest video I've ever seen, but it's wild to see something like that happen. So I'm not sure what I want to say about it because everything's already been said, but I do feel like we need to talk about it because it is if we have like a
Sure.
construction news like segment,
Yeah.
construction news. That bridge is going to cost $4 billion to repair or rebuild.
Is that what it's going to cost?
That's what I just heard on the news. $4 billion.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. And what it made me think was, I can't believe this is like the first time I've seen this happen, because like it looked like it barely, like, as soon as it made contact with it, it wasn't like, it slowly
Yeah.
knocked the bridge down. It was just like it hit this thing, and in a second, the entire bridge collapsed. And
Yeah.
it's so sad because there were people working on the bridge,
Yeah.
and I don't know I haven't looked too much into it, or listened or watched the news about it too much, but I know they called in a mayday. They had lost power on the ship, and I don't know what the people were doing working on the bridge that they couldn't get off of it in time, but
Yeah.
um
That's what I don't understand that either, because apparently they had 90 seconds from the Mayday to when it actually hit, and they had enough time to stop traffic on the bridge, but
yeah.
the construction workers were filling potholes on the bridge, and I don't know why they didn't get them off. And that was because those, I mean, I think that those were the only people that, like, everybody who I guess they're still unaccounted for technically, but the people who passed away, they were all the construction workers, not like people in cars. So
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there.
I guess
It's really
maybe
sad.
like they didn't have communication with you know, the people that were, I don't know, like the people on the bridge that, you know, I don't know, Port Authority, like I don't even know who you would call like a mayday into. Like how would they get the word down to them? They're working, it's probably super loud, like they can
Yeah.
stop traffic, like like a cop just needs to pull in front of the bridge and stop traffic. Um or they have like gates or whatever they lower down. But to get word to them in such a short period of time, um, it's probably like too late or something. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
crazy, super sad. Just such a freak thing that happened. And it's like, you see it happen, and it's like that boat, it's not like it was like so off course. Like the workers could have seen that boat and like, if they're not really paying attention, like not knowing that anything was wrong, because like it goes right next to that support that it hit, and it goes underneath the bridge. So it's not like, oh my God, what is this huge boat doing here? It's just like it's off course by a tiny bit, and it's crazy to see that if it is and it runs into that, like the whole thing collapses in a second.
Yeah.
So, did you see the time? Like, oh, it wasn't like a time lapse, but it was like a sped up video, and like literally, like you see the boat like so close, and you see cars driving over the bridge, and like, especially after you've seen it once, you know that the bridge is going to collapse, and you're like seeing the cars drive by, and you're like, oh my God, like how close that was,
Yeah.
like insane.
It is
But
really wild. And
well,
the bridge here, like we have a, or in my town, you don't live here anymore, but in my
yeah,
town, there's a bridge here that, um, we have the, I don't think something that big could go under this bridge, but we do have like big cargo ships that come up this river, and the clearance is so small. It's so close. This because it's only six. This bridge is 66 feet at high tide, and it's, even when it's going where it's supposed to, it still looks like it's going to hit. So I imagine that was, they didn't think twice about it. Those poor people.
yeah, that's how high the Tacony Palmyra Bridge is from
The water
high
at high
tide.
tide. Yeah.
Okay, but then it opens as well.
It also opens. Yeah.
Hmm. Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
It
And
is
it's also
crazy.
crazy to like think about how our infrastructure in this country, like that bridge is like a very important like transportation way. What would you call
Yeah.
it? Bridge. It's a very important like bridge, like an artery of
Yeah.
traffic and logistics, and all that kind of stuff goes over that bridge. So it's like amazing to think how fragile that is. Like a collapse
Mhm.
of a bridge here or a bridge there can like so severely impact so many different things with shipping, and like just a lot of things that we depend on are so
Mhm.
dependent on our roads and our bridges. And it's kind of scary to think about a little bit, but
Yeah. And that's a bridge that's a highway bridge. It's a highway that goes over it. And then the port of Baltimore is like a major, I think it's like it's one of the top 10 busiest ports in the United States. And they said that it's going to like impact, like it's a lot of cars go in and out of there. So it's going
mm,
to impact, they said that it's going to impact car prices,
wow,
which is
good thing I just
crazy.
bought a truck.
Yeah. So,
Well,
very
all right.
sad.
Well,
And it's, I'll be interested to see how they reconstruct it.
yeah.
That'll be interesting to watch.
Well, prayers or whatever to the families. It's super sad. And then, blue collar people just out there working on the bridge, and that's sad. So, um, what else we got? How about getting back to our book club?
Yeah, book
It's time for
club.
the Hardworking Happy Hour book club. So are we gonna come clean now? Are we just gonna come clean, rip the Band-Aid off?
We're gonna rip the band off.
Everyone probably forgets that what the book was that we said we were gonna read. What was it even called? Elon? Was that what it was?
So, yeah.
I don't know why we picked that.
It's 20-hour long audiobook.
We realized that we were gonna have a guest on, so we were gonna have 2 weeks to listen to this book, and it was like 22 hours long. And you started listening to it, right? And you were like, "It's terrible. I can't even listen to it." So then I never even downloaded it, and we just really dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah, that was a bad pick, and
terrible pick.
We'll readjust, because the book we picked this week is, I think it was Tim that recommended this book, right?
It is, yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was Tim or
actually
it was
I have
Ryan.
it written down right here. I still have my notes from his episode, and
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to be reading Buddha and the Badass. By, I'm going to butcher this name, I'm so sorry, Vishen Lakhiani.
Okay.
It's got great reviews, and I mean, I think Tim is maybe the smartest person I've ever talked to, like, in person. So
probably
I'm
sure he was the smartest person that was willing to talk to me, for sure, and to be on this podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, Buddha and the Badass. I'm excited to listen to it because I've always been very fascinated by like Buddhism and meditation and all that kind of stuff. I've read a ton of mindfulness and meditation and like philosophy books. So I'm really excited to listen to this mashup of, at least that's what I'm assuming it is, kind of,
yeah, I guess we're gonna find
mash up into business.
The subtitle is the secret spiritual art of succeeding at work. So I'm sure that's exactly what it is.
Cool. I can't wait for that. So we are actually going to do this one. Is that right?
We are actually going to read this one. And it's 9 hours and 42 minutes. So a little bit longer than what we like to do, but I think we'll do it. It's doable.
We'll have to listen to it at like 3 times speed.
We need to make a comeback.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Let's not be too hard on ourselves, because this is the first book that we haven't read.
Yeah.
And we've read a lot of books or listened to, whatever. So let's not be too hard on ourselves. Let's give ourselves a little
focus on what we have done, not what we have not done.
Yeah. You have gone to the gym at 5 a.m. 2 entire days in a row.
Yeah.
So
I plan on going tomorrow.
Oh my God. Not on the weekend, right? Don't get crazy.
I already booked my classes for the weekend.
Not at 5 a.m. Don't get crazy.
No, not at 5 a.m. Not at 5 a.m.
What are we talking?
They don't
9
have
a.m.
5 a.m.s. Saturday I'm looking at a 7 a.m.er, and then
look at you.
Sunday, which is actually Easter, and I didn't think that they would have classes on Easter, but they do. I got a 10:45 yin yoga. That's my rest day. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah. A little active recovery. I love yin yoga. Yin yoga is so nice.
Oh,
so
God,
relaxing. My God.
This is hot yin yoga. So I think it's really going to be like really a good.
Oh, you're just going to slip into a trance that you might never come out of.
Next week, I'm going to be a whole new person. You're not even going to recognize me.
Yeah. I'm expecting not to. I'm going to say, who the hell is this person? All right, exciting stuff. Yes. Spring has sprung. We've, really chopped it up about philosophy and psychological warfare on ourselves and just weird meandering thoughts on life and otherwise. Yeah. And we're going to read this cool book. So I'd really love it if we could have some other people join in with us, read the book with us, and hit us up on Instagram. That's probably the best way to get in touch with us, and let us know your thoughts as you're listening to it. That would be super cool. Mm-hmm. And what else we got? Any other little housekeeping items?
I don't have anything. Do you?
make sure you subscribe to this podcast and tell a friend about it. How about an Easter gift for us? Tell a friend about it because, yeah, our last episode with Andy Mulder was one of our most listened to episodes ever. So let's keep this roll going.
Yeah.
Might have stopped all the momentum with all the squirrely talk. Scratch this whole episode. Throw it away. Throw it away.
We gotta be a mix. We're a mix of squirreliness and hard-hitting journalism.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. So till next time, this has been the Hardworking Happy Hour.
See you next week.